hit up the crew, then I lace up my Nikes. I jam on the radio just to start it off right. Let's make this night incredible, something unforgettable.
Morning everyone, first cast of the day. I hope that's not bad luck, but it's on that Gill Reaper Topwater Spitter. Flat out catches some fish, man. It's like one of those chug bugs, but it's got a bigger profile and it's so easy to walk. You can walk this thing with no effort at all. But we'll see what happens. That's first cast. We'll keep going and see if we can't catch any more. Now with this Topwater Spitter, here's my setup, and this is what I'd recommend for anybody who's throwing a anybody throwing a topwater spook type bait where you're walking it across the top of the water. You definitely want monofilament. You don't want fluorocarbon, because fluorocarbon is going to sink and it's not going to allow you to fish that bait very thoroughly. I'd recommend 12-pound test. That's a little light for a topwater bait, but I've never had any problems with it, and I feel like I can work my lure a lot better with 12-pound test. As far as the rod goes, I don't really like to have a heavy action rod, because you're actually making the bait walk with your rod instead of like a frog or whatever, where you're just kind of bouncing it across the top of the water. With this, it's more of a controlled type of pop. So this is a 6.6 medium. It's actually a medium. So it's got a ton of bend in it, but the key to the topwater spook type fishing is having a high-speed reel. This is a 7 1-to-1 Skeet Reese edition, and basically what it does is when that fish blows up on it, it allows me to catch up to it really quick. So you're basically, in my opinion, you're setting the hook with the rod, yes, but two, you're really setting the hook with your reel, because you've got to catch up to that fish really quick. So that's the setup there: a high-speed reel, a medium action rod, and I mean 12-pound monofilament line. I feel like you can't go wrong. But this little Gill Reaper lure topwater spitter is a pretty nasty little bait. If you want something that not a lot of guys are throwing, that, hey, maybe you're on a pressured lake or something and you need a spook that's got a little different action than most of them, this is definitely your spook. It's got a walking type action to it, but the lip on it's got a little cup in the middle of it, and it really allows this bait to, it's like a hybrid between a popper and a spook. Oh, there we go. Because this thing will, as it's walking side to side, it'll actually make a little plop, and that's a lot of times, a little bitty spotted bass, that's a lot of times what'll really attract those bigger fish. I've caught some very nice fish on this thing this fall. It's a great fall bait when the bass are feeding on shad and stuff like that. But it's a fish catching little booger, man. I'm telling you, it's a pretty awesome topwater bait for sure. There we go. That is a trophy right there. Beautiful fish though. Nice little spotted bass. Let's see if we can't get anything a little bigger. And basically what I'm doing here is going down a dam. Dams in the fall are one of my favorite places to fish. This lake right here, it's got a bunch of grass on it, so I really don't have anywhere to fish this little topwater spitter, because I'll get grass all over it. But this little dam here, it's pretty deep right off the side of it. I'm hoping there's a big one sitting out here somewhere this morning ready to eat. We just got a lot of rain here, and so I'm trying to figure out how it's affecting the fish. Right now it seems to have them pretty active, but we'll see how it goes. You'll notice another thing here is my boat's probably 10 to 15 feet off the dam, which is pretty close. And that's one thing I've noticed I've learned fishing dams so much this year, is they don't really like it when you sit out there in 35 feet of water and you cast straight to the dam. They like it when you're 10 to 15 feet off the bank and you can bring that bait horizontally down the dam, because all these bass that are actually like living on the dam and feeding on the dam, they're used to seeing these shad run horizontally down the dam. And so when you sit up there in 30 feet of water and you cast up to the dam, sure, you're going to have the opportunity to catch one, but the strike window is probably 3 to 4 seconds when you throw up there. Whereas when I'm horizontal casting, my strike window is pretty much the entire way to the boat, because there could be a fish all the way over here, or he could be right here and 10 feet off the dam, but he's not going to be 20 feet off the dam, especially in the morning. Most of the time they're really close to the dam. But that's a little tip for you there. Now the paint jobs on these things are incredible. Not only the color, but the durability that this bait has is incredible. I was over there at the dam this morning. You saw me just bouncing it. I'm not meaning to, but my casts are bad, but I'm bouncing off rocks, and absolutely, I've had none of the baits that I've gotten from him have ever chipped, not one. He puts a pretty gnarly clear coat on them, and in my opinion, that's kind of what separates him from everybody else. You know, you can go buy a Strike King Sexy Dog or something for the same exact price, but you're not going to get the quality that this thing has. So you're not going to be able, that was a big one. You're not going to be able to throw this as long That was a good one right there, ladies and gentlemen. See if I can't follow it up with the old Cinco and get her. Come on, big girl. I got her. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, it's a good one, and I got her. Oh, stay down. Oh, stay down. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Look at that one, ladies and gentlemen. A little 3-pounder. I saw that fish hit the Topwater Spitter and it just missed it. And I threw back on there with a little Cinco, and that's what you got to do. You got to have something on your deck of the boat that you can throw back on these fish when they bite that Topwater Spitter and just miss it a little bit. And but that Gill Reaper Lure Topwater Spitter, that's what helped me catch this fish right here. He's skinny as a rail, 2.5 pounder maybe.
But that's the only way I want it.